Good afternoon. I want to say hello, and I am putting on a program called Lisa's Business Corner. And today I have with me a very lovely person by the name of Lisa Strauss Lawrence, and her company is Go Career Compass. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. Love the name. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
I'm so interested in having everyone know about what you do. And if you want to get started, we would like you to describe your business so everyone knows.
Sure. Go Career Compass is a career counseling service. And I want to jump down to why I started in the first place. Who gets career counseling? Not from our guidance counselors, not from our poor parents who are trying to figure out how to help us, not from our college or other kind of counselors. Where do we get an idea of what we should be when we grow up? And some people wonder the rest of their lives. They have sort of happened into things, they've jumped into things, they've sort of fallen into things. But when it comes down to it, do they really enjoy what they're doing? Are they happy? Are they doing what they love and loving what they do? That for me is the ultimate. So for me, I had no guidance. I was in college for a degree that honestly, there were no jobs and nobody told me. And so I was really trained for nothing else, and I wandered through for a long time trying to find myself. So I didn't want other people to feel the same way and be in the same position. So for me, career counseling is discovering not only what you're best at, but what you would love to do in your life, what you dream about, how to make that happen. What are the strategic plans that you need to make that happen? And so many people settle and they're not happy with what they do for a living. So,
But
and
what's
I do want to mention that career counseling is different from coaching. It's not like I have a real business background. Coaches sort of have a business background and are guiding people in certain directions. I'm dealing with counseling. So I'm learning about their personality, their skills, their dreams, their obstacles. Many people say, I can't do this because, and so many times they have it in their heads. I can't do this because my mom told me I'm not good at this, or because my dad said you should do something else. So I deal with all those things, and that's real counseling.
so what's interesting, you said a few things that were interesting that maybe you can help me clarify.
Yeah.
So, when you go to school, people rely on the counselors,
Mhm.
give you guidance. And if my experience is with people that I've known personally, that if you don't have great grades and you're not in the top percentile of your class, they sort of like put you to the wayside and basically send you away and tell you, you should look into the trades. And that might be great for some people, and maybe they want to be in the trades. But are you talking about helping people in the high school, college, and later on in life? So would you give us some
Sure.
explanation about
Sure,
that?
sure. Number one, all years. But number two, if you really back up properly, guidance counselors, the game of being a guidance counselor is what's the percentage that I sent to college? That's the game. And that's how people are rated here on Long Island. Not fair and not a huge opportunity for students to really find themselves. Number one, because college is not an opportunity for everyone. Number two, where do we find out what we're really good at? So there shouldn't be this sense of, well, college and no college, or academic and no academic. What there should be is let's find out your skills, let's find out your interests, let's work a little bit and find out what we really enjoy. People, kids don't have that opportunity. So, number one, we have that problem. And then number two, people go into college and then they have no clue. So, college is a business. Everybody should understand that. And so, if you're lucky, you might have a college career counselor who maybe guides you about, your degree and whatever can help you with this. Most of the people I've met have not been guided that way. They maybe, go in and maybe if they're lucky, they had an internship. If they're lucky, maybe they had some guidance about you're doing a resume or such. But many of them never even step foot into the career counseling office and don't really take advantage of anything. So now they graduate. Now, not only do they have a degree, which they might not use, okay, but they also have school loans. So now they're stuck. They're stuck in where do I go now? What do I do?
Yes.
So for me, I have different phases of people's lives. I have the kids who come out not knowing at all what they want to be. I have the kids who go to college not knowing what they want to be. I have people who are now in professions who come out and say, you know what, I'm not really happy doing this anymore. And then I have people in a second career who say, you know what, I've done this and I've been happy, but I'd like to find something else in my life. There's all that gamut. And I have
There's right,
plenty of stories of people who were not guided properly, including my own son, who,
right.
by the way, was told that he would be a failure in life because he was not going to college. And we, with our 4 degrees, really not only guided him, but supported him in his love of retail. And he loved it and he was doing well at it. And he was probably making more money than I ever made. And when he wanted to go to college because he felt there was a reason to do it, he did. And he is successful, but he's successful because he did it his way. He has no college loans. He has a home. He has investor homes, and he's doing things the way he wanted to. And to be told by somebody that you'd be a failure because you didn't do a certain thing, to me, is just a tragedy. Now, how many other people were told that? So for me as a career counselor, I go back to trying to help as many people as I can open their eyes, open their hearts to maybe their loves and things that they were told, oh, you can't do that, and try and figure out maybe logistical ways of making that happen.
So
So again,
Lisa,
all stages, all ages of careers.
and I was going to ask you, you know, for a story, but you gave us a perfect story and a perfect example of your son. And
Thank
I
you.
know many people like that who have gone on to be really successful, but they struggled along the way because they were knocked down at a young age.
Yes.
So, you know, they become skittish and fearful.
I'm going to tell you
How,
one more
yes.
thing about that. My own guidance counselor, continued to say to me, "Oh, sure, you'd love to be an early childhood teacher, go to school." I went to the best school in the country for it, Syracuse University. I came out there with no jobs. I went back to that guidance counselor and I asked her why she didn't tell me that there were no jobs in this field, and she told me that wasn't her job. Okay,
Oh,
so I asked people, what do guidance counselors, what are they supposed to be doing? Okay, she said to me, I didn't need to worry about you. You're a good student. You never skipped school. You had good grades. I don't have to worry about you. So is the job of a guidance counselor to just make sure that everybody graduates? Is the job of a guidance counselor just make sure that everybody goes to college? I mean, so career counseling is really supposed to back up and say, what are we doing? What are we offering our students? And our people after that? Are people happy with what they're doing in their lives? Think about how many years you do something in your life. Why aren't you happy doing it? And people are afraid. People are afraid of change. You know that.
yes. So if people are thinking about change, they can absolutely be counseled by somebody like yourself with Go Career Compass. That's
Correct.
what the company is about. Every age, every stage, every level. So
Correct.
how do people, is it a one-on-one? Is it a series? How does it work?
So one-on-one is fine for people, and some people want that, attention. But I will say that coming up is a workshop, a series, actually 2 workshop series, and I do workshops through libraries. So it's free to the public. 2 workshop series, one in Wanto, and that's in person. And my series are always interactive. So right out of the bat, I'm having people write down things, their thoughts, the things that they've done in the past. And so they're learning as I'm helping them, what I call facilitating them. So this week on Thursday starts the 6-week career workshop
What
series
date,
at
Lisa?
Wantua. It's tomorrow, the 8th. It's from 5:30 to 6:30. And I'll give you contact information for me in case people want
Is it
that.
in person or
So
online?
it is in person. The 6-week series is in person. It starts out with the road less traveled. How do I deal with my transferable skills? So I have skills. What else can I do with my skills? And I help them pass through that. So it's going to be 6 weeks and it's free. And you can pick one or 6, whatever you want from that.
So if people can't get to the initial one tomorrow, they can still jump in at any.
Correct.
And
Correct.
you don't have to be a member of the local
You do not.
library at
You do
all,
not.
or any
Correct.
libraries. You
Correct.
can just, how do they register?
Right. So I'm going to, when they send me, they can look on Eventbrite, okay, for the Want to Career Counseling series. They can do that on Eventbrite. Or they're going to send me information and I'll send them the link to register for any of them. And by the way, they cover everything from LinkedIn, standing out, the job of finding a job, opening your door with a resume, and I do very non-traditional resumes, and the art of interviewing. So that's 6 weeks.
That's
Now I'm also
awesome.
doing virtual because some people don't want to be in person. I'm doing 3 virtual ones through Lindenhurst Memorial Library, and those 3 are the job of finding a job, the resume as a door opener, and the interviewing. So one's starting really with career counseling, and the other one's starting with really job search, which I make into very personalized procedure. I don't want people just mass sending. I don't want people need to select and pick what they're doing, why that company needs them, what is their value to that company. It's all about personal. We go back to who am I, what am I valued at, and where do I fit? That's what it really comes down to.
Lisa, all I can say is you are so passionate about this. It comes through right clearly. And I think that that's wonderful. Like we always say, if we're passionate about what we do, then it's really not work. So if they can't jump into the Wantor Library, then they can do a virtual session,
Yes,
and they do not have to pay for any of these
they
things.
do
They
not.
are free
Free.
to the public.
Free to the public. Free to the public. Now, the ones in Lindenhurst, the 3 start out with the job stuff. In early spring, maybe February, March, there'll be 3 more, and that'll be more the career stuff. So they've done it in a different way. They want to start with the job stuff. And of course, anybody can come in and work with me individually. And, that's a whole nother deal. And I just want to mention, something that differentiates myself from others.
Please.
People have businesses, and I'm not a business person, and I'm not interested in being a business person. So when people say to me, so what do you charge? Because that's the first thing they ask. My answer is whatever you feel you can afford to pay me.
Wow.
I don't have any sense of you must pay me $100 for a resume or you must pay me. That's not how I operate. I think that everybody has their own things going on in their lives, their own situations, and I'm just grateful that they appreciate my work and that hopefully they're happy with whatever they decide to do. So that's for me. Um, I don't judge anybody by what they decide, but that for me differentiates myself. And one more thing, I really am motivated by helping people. And I, just like you, and I want to make sure that people really find themselves. And the one thing that's so important and identifies people is who they are and what they do for a living. And when you think about it, how could you be unhappy all your life? And people do, they settle. I've seen it. I've seen how they settle. And by the way, it's never too late. I'm just give one quick example of never too late. My husband was an architect for 25 years and loved architecture. He always wanted to do it. It's a lot of work, a lot of studying, a lot of schooling and all. Well, at a certain point in his life, he realized that architecture was sort of a dying industry. It's really very difficult to continue it and to do it. And we did testing, we did all kinds of analysis. It always came up lawyer. Every single time we would do something, it was always lawyer. He went back to law school at the age of 44, graduated with a law degree at 48, and guess what he went into? Architectural liability. So people who were sued are now going to somebody who not only is a lawyer, but is an architect. To me, best of both worlds. So obviously you have to be open to it. There are sacrifices, with money and time and everything else. But again, you should really go for what you want in your life. You need to pursue your
Lisa, we
dreams.
can talk for
we
probably a
can,
half hour
we can,
more
we can,
about
we
all
can.
of these components.
I know.
And I really, you ran the whole show. I didn't have many questions to ask of you because you were able to answer all my questions before I even got them out. And I
Sure.
really thank you for making my life easy in this wonderful interview.
No,
I
sure.
really appreciate it.
Sure. Let me
You
give you
know,
some contact information.
yes,
Let me just give them my website, which is www.gocareercompass.com. There is a contact sheet there. They can write down their information and send it, and I'll get it and then contact them. Or they can contact me directly on my cell phone, 631-839-6226. They can do that. Or if they would prefer, they can email me, lisa@gocareercompass.com. I'm going to repeat one more time that the Wantor Public Library is tomorrow, the 8th, from 5:30 to 6:30. Again, free workshop series. And tomorrow's is the road less traveled, and it's really about transferable skills. The 14th, next Wednesday, starts the Lindenhurst Public Library, and that starts out with the job of finding a job, again, free. But again, if
Virtual.
they want to go on my website and just do contact me, they can do that, or they can contact me directly. Again, I'm going to tell my phone number again, 631-839-6226, or lisa@gocareercompass.com. I appreciate this, Lisa. My goal is to help as many people as I can, and I love this. This is my
And
fun.
thank you, Lisa. As a friend of yours that knows you for many years, I couldn't wait to get you in front of the camera and get your information out to the community, because you have such valuable information. I think everybody needs to take advantage of that, who's not happy in either what they do or really just starting out in their careers and trying to get some more information about what to go after. Thank you
Or
very much.
or a second career.
Or a second
Maybe you've
career.
been happy in doing one thing, but guess what? There are many, many doors that you can open. So don't forget
Absolutely.
that too.
You are inspiration to all who are not happy in their jobs, and they need to be. I'm Lisa Albinowski. Welcome to my business info corner. I'm a realtor with Signature Premier Properties. I'm an associate broker. You can reach me with any real estate questions you might have at 631-793-7329, or you can reach me on Facebook, Lisa Albinowski Realtor. Thank you, my
Thank
dear.
you,
Have a
Lisa.
wonderful day
You too.
and happy September.
Thank you. You too.
Bye
Bye.
now.
Bye.